I truly believe everyone has dreams, they have goals, there's things we want to achieve. How do we get there? We have to complete the circuit. We have to complete it. We have to have a pathway. We have to power our dreams. We have to provide the energy necessary to power our dreams. So, and what is energy? The ability to do, boom, work. That's what we want to accomplish. Our work is whatever we're trying to achieve, right? And in order to do so, there's a pathway that our effort needs to follow. There's 3 components to that pathway. Now, if I'm looking at a circuit, right, an actual electrical circuit, remember, teacher, not a speaker, right? In order for us to power something, every electronic device involves some form of circuit. Computer, any electronic device. Once again, it requires a circuit, but what actually is a circuit? A circuit is a pathway for electricity to flow or for current to flow. What is electricity? You know, that's simply a flow of electrons or flow of charges. You have moving charges traveling almost like water going down an embankment or going down a river. We have to use that same effort, that same mentality, that same concept to power our dreams. We're the only ones that could do it, right? Now, in order for this to work, there's 3 main components. We have to have some type of energy source, something known as a load, and something also known as conductors or a pathway. Now, I'm gonna make it all make sense. Now, these 3 things are required. It's an energy source, it's something known as a load, and a third thing known as conductors. All right, so let's go ahead and break this thing down. So when we deal with a circuit, an energy source is a requirement. Like if I had an actual circuit, when I used to demonstrate this, I may use like a battery, right? Or a hand generator. You turn it and it produces electricity. So we have to have an energy source. Guess what? You're the energy source, right? You are providing the input, the effort, the focus. Dr. Eric Thomas says, wherever your focus goes, your energy flows, something along the lines of that. But basically, whatever we focus on, whatever, when we roll up our sleeves, you know what I mean, and get in the trenches, that's that energy that we're putting in. That's that effort that we're putting forth towards reaching our dreams and goals. That's the energy source. So that's one component. The second one is a pathway of conductors. What is a conductor? A conductor is simply a material that allows electricity or our energy to flow through it. Most of the time, it's metal. Okay, so if you think about a circuit, it has metal. We know that electricity flows very well through metal. So those are very good conductors. So our conductor is, what systems do we have in place? What strategies are we using to reach our goal? If you're just joining, today is day 380 something, 390. I'm losing track on my fitness journey. I'm down 55 pounds. What is my pathway? What is my strategy? What is my system? One of the main components of my system of how I was able to drop 55 pounds is I have been running a mile a day, a minimum a mile a day, every single day. I'm approaching day 390. We'll leave it like that. So that's the pathway that I follow. That's a part of my system. Of course, now it starts to expand. Like there's other things that I do and get in the gym, but I have a solid pathway. That's something that I do on a daily basis. That's something that I put effort into every single day. So once again, I said there's 3 things. So we have the energy source, which is ourselves, what we put into that circuit, right? The second thing is the pathway of conductors. What systems do we have in place? What strategies are we using? And the last thing is the load or the device. You know, what is it that we're trying to power? We're trying to power our dreams, our goals, but we have to know exactly what we want to power. We need to be able to direct our electricity, our energy, our input. So that's something known as the load. Now, guess what? All circuits have to have these 3 components. They have to have an energy source. They have to have a pathway of conductors as well as a load. And how it works, that energy source, it inputs that current, that electricity into the circuit. The circuit has to be closed, so the electricity is actually traveling through the wires. Our effort is moving through the systems towards our dreams. Or in a circuit, the electricity is moving through that pathway of conductors or the wires to the device. And what the device does, what our dream does. We want to reach our dreams, but why? Because there's certain things we want to accomplish, right? So when it deals with the actual circuit, I'm a teacher, not a speaker, right? That device takes that energy and it changes form so that work could get done. We want work to occur. We're trying to accomplish something. For example, if I plug in a television, right? That actual plug, it's connected to the circuit in our house, right? So electrical energy comes out of the wall, out of that circuit, it travels through the cable into the television. And what does the television do? It basically transfers that electrical energy into light energy, because we could see the screen, right? It converts it into sound energy, right? Because we could hear the TV. And if you put your hand on the back of that TV, how does it feel? It feels warm because it's also converting it into thermal energy. There's something known as a law of conservation of energy. Energy is not created or destroyed. It changes form. So it's like the more effort we put in, guess what? The more we're gonna produce. The more, the higher the magnitude, the closer we get in there, the more we're gonna produce, and it could be exponentially more. So we have to have those three components. Now, when it deals with a circuit has to be closed. You can't have any gaps in that circuit, okay? It has to be closed so those charges could flow. If you open it up, it's not gonna work. So as we keep moving, every now and then, to be honest, we gotta take that pit stop. We need to take a break to re-energize, to recalibrate, to refocus. And that's almost like a light switch. You think of a light switch. When I turn when I hit the switch off, the lights in my room, they're gonna turn off. When I hit it again to turn it on, the lights are gonna turn on. Why is that happening? When I turn the light switch actually off, think of that like a drawbridge. So when the light switch is off, boom, the drawbridge opens up and the cars can't drive across. So when I open up a circuit or turn it off, everything comes to a stop. Sometimes we need to know when to do that. And then when I hit that light switch back to on, the circuit closes and the charges can keep flowing across. We need to know when we need to do that, because that's still something that's needed. When do we need to open? When do we need to close that circuit? Because if we have too many charges flowing, what happens if you have too many charges flowing in your actual house, right? The plug's gonna go out. It's gonna trip your circuit breaker, and we don't want that to happen. We don't want to blow a fuse, right? Think about those old Christmas lights, right? Back in the day, the old Christmas lights are the cheap ones, right? If you pulled out one light bulb, that opened it up and all the lights will go out. Fortunately, and that's known as a series circuit in science, there's something known as a parallel circuit, which means there's more than one pathway, which means if I pull out one light, one Christmas light, okay, then all the other lights will go because there's more than one pathway. So as we develop our circuit and create it and make sure we have one, we will then be able to improve it and take it to another level. We'll have the system in place for our current, for our efforts, for our ambitions to keep moving forward, even if there is an obstacle. Remember, I'm a teacher, not a speaker. Y'all have an amazing day.